Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my luxury beauty favorites of 2022 so far. Last year I meant to do more check-ins of my favorites throughout the year so we could have a little point to pause, kind of evaluate what we've seen so far. For instance, January was so filled with new releases. Some were limited edition, some were not. I'm going to try and focus mostly on more permanent items versus limited edition items that I've been using. I tried to select 3 in each major category, so it's like the top 3 blushes, top 3 eyeshadow palettes, things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting with SPF because it is part of my daily routine. I have 3 I've been rotating through. If I want something quite transparent that doesn't impact the way makeup looks, I will pull for this one. This is a Chantecaille SPF 45 primer. So this is the one that doesn't leave any white cast. It looks beautiful under makeup, doesn't impact the color of my foundation. Plus it's really comfortable to wear, so I still do love this one. Again, it's the Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen. Really lovely one. When I want more protection and brightening, I will go for the Even Up SPF. This is more of a daily, although I did apply it today, so you could kind of see how it looked. SPF 50 is also a clinical pigment perfector. Not only does it blur, but it works on those darker areas and evens out skin tone. That is quite heavy duty, but I will rely on that when it's extra hot because that one does not move around even when my skin gets more oily. And I've been loving this one, which is a new addition to what I'm going to call my SPF wardrobe. This is the Clé de Peau Brightening Enhancer Veil. I'm really picky with SPF, and I love this one because not only does it have brightening in addition to SPF, but it also provides a nice smooth canvas for makeup or powder. I like to experiment with my products just to see how I can get the most out of them. I applied this on half of my face, and then I put the GUERLAIN powder, the Terracotta Light, which I'll talk about in a moment, over this, and then I put the powder on without this, and with this product underneath, it was a much smoother canvas. The powder looked much more smooth on the skin. Not only do you get the brightening benefits, but it also makes the superficial appearance of makeup even better. So I have that on as well underneath my makeup, but I've been loving this with the powder. Then moving on to primers, there are 3 that I have had in the rotation. They should not come as a surprise. Chantecaille's Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream, and this one is great for smoothing out anything like pores in the front. It helps control that shine as well right here in the center of my face where I tend to get oily, so I love this one for that. Also, I've been loving the new to me by Terry Brightening CC Serum and Apricot Glow. This also provides a nice smooth texture. It has that brightening, very subtle type of reflective quality in it, and it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. So if I want to even it out and brighten, I will use this one. And then the other one that I've been loving, if I want to go a little bit more tan, is the Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer, this one in golden. Lovely for a more tan kind of appearance. So those 3 are lovely, lovely primers. For foundation, I've talked about these a lot this year. It's the #1 de Chanel, which I have on now in BD41. Really great for more dry skin. I have this all over my face. I did film the Get Ready With Me, so make sure to tune into that. But I think I've shown this several times. Okay, I just dropped it, but I have shown it didn't break. It fell on many things before it rolled on the hard floor. Okay, so that is intact. I have shown that one quite a few times, but I applied it all over my face, and then I went in with the Ultra Le Temps because we are going out later, and I applied it in the center of my face just for a little bit more long wear here in the center. Yeah, right up in front, and plus, I've said before, my concealer adheres really well to this Clé de Peau, and I have this one in BD41 as well. Now for a more natural look, because my skin, and you'll see in the before on the Get Ready With Me, my skin tone is much more even these days. I will definitely update on some of the skincare products I've been using, but you can go to my shop list. It's down in the description box, and I show all the brightening products that I'm using. So if you ever wanted to see what those are, because that is one of the frequently asked questions, is what did I use or what am I using to help brighten the dark spots? I have a list of shoppable links there for you, so go ahead and click on that. But since my skin is more even and I can go with less coverage, I love the CHANTECAILLE Future Skin. It is the most undetectable foundation on the skin, just evens everything out, makes the skin look more beautiful. I have mine in the shade Cream. So I have various levels of foundation here. So this would be my lightest coverage, most natural. Then the Chanel No. 1 is a step up from that. And then this has the most coverage for me. They're all lightweight, all very comfortable, all great tones for my skin, which is why I love them. Let's see, I have a piece of paper because I wrote these all down and have them organized. Okay, concealers, those will not be a surprise. Sisley Under Eye Concealer in shade 4. Then I've got La Prairie Concealer in shade 4. Or is this shade 4? Yeah, I think it's shade 4. Shade 4, and then we've got the CdP, the new one in Mocha. Those are very reliable concealers that look great in all kinds of conditions, various seasons. That's why I pull for them all the time. They just perform so well. For eyeshadow palettes, I love this new SUQQU palette. Now this one is a bit more sparkly, but I added it today. You can take a look and see how that looks. Take a look and see how that looks in the try-on. But this I have in the crease, so I used those two today. But I also went to a favorite that has popped up so many times, Tisse Rivoli by Chanel. So I've said it before, but if you have no palettes from Chanel and you want to start with one, I would suggest this one. I think this will look beautiful on most people, and I was able to take just one shade here, which is what I love about this palette. You don't have to use all of them. You can use one with other palettes or a couple with other palettes. This plays well with other palettes. So I took this deepest shade right here and I applied it right in the exterior corner just to build a little bit more dimension. And to brighten, I used this one, which also plays well with other palettes. It's a Tom Ford Rose Topaz. I took this shade, applied it in the center of the lid, and I took this and I applied it between the lightest shade and the deepest shade, and I also went in the inner corner right there. So I love this formula. Some people I think liked it, some people didn't. I really like it. It's very forgiving, especially on more mature eyes. And I was asked if you get hard pan here. I did not experience that with these. What can happen though is if you have oils on your hands and you go and you touch this, I think maybe that could contribute to hard pan. But I make sure my hands are really clean and dry before I touch this eyeshadow. So that might be a factor. I'm not sure, but I have not experienced that. Plus, I live in a more dry climate, so that may have something to do with it as well, but I love this one. On to cheek colors. You know, I love blush, so I have chosen, I think these are going to be no surprise to you. I have 3 of them here. I used to really love matte blushes, but I've discovered over time that because a blush has some glow doesn't mean it has sparkle. So I do not enjoy sparkly blushes or things with detectable shimmer, but I do love now something with a glow because I feel like it brings out bone structure, and I think you can see it here because I have some, well, I'm going way ahead, so hold on. So this has they're not matte, but they do have some glow to them. So these are the SUQQU blushes. I have 3 of them. I have the shade number, and I was mixing these up when I first got them. So I have number 2, which is the pink shade. Really lovely, quite vibrant. I was really surprised at how vibrant these were. I thought they were going to be very muted, very sheer. They're not. Lovely though. And then we've got this shade number 3, which is more of a peachy tone. And then I wanted to pick up something muted, so I went with this one, number 4, which is more muted, but still on the warm side. So here they are together, and then I'll swatch them together for you as well. So you should see number 2, the pink one, and then 3, the peachier one, and then 4, which is the more muted, warm-toned blush. So I love those. They just melt into the skin. I still want to pick up a more muted pink shade because I think that would be really beautiful. But I found myself still layering these with some more blushes that have more glow to them. Every time I say this, I need the case. Someone let me know they still are not available though. So CdP blushes, I have 2. I love them. You can see the glow here because I added them on top. Actually, I did not use the SUQQU blushes today though. I used another blush I'll talk about in a moment. But you can see the glow here. I think it just looks so healthy. You can see the cheekbones pop a little bit more, especially apples of the cheeks right here in the front. We've got 102 and 105. These have that glow without any shimmer, without any detectable particles, just the most beautiful glow that does not enhance texture. That's a tricky balance. Glow without enhancing texture, I think, is one of the hardest combinations, and Clé de Peau got it right. So whatever they've done to their blush, you can see just the beautiful, healthy, like a plump almost look to the cheeks without being shimmery, without emphasizing texture. They are really so pretty, and I dropped mine today, but it actually survived. But I do need the case. That's on my list of things I have to get. Underneath though, I have Victoria Beckham. I haven't talked about these in a while. I know they were out of stock, but I think they're back in stock if they're not out of stock again. But they're so good because you can add them on top of powdered makeup. So I applied this on top of concealer, on top of powder, and I just went in with a Clé de Peau blush brush. I think that helps. Probably threw it somewhere while I was doing makeup. Oh, here it is. This one works really beautifully with cream and liquid blushes, as well as powder, but I still love my new Rowan, it's not new anymore, but it's new to me, my Rowan blush brush, which I also can't find right now. But these work really beautifully. So I applied this first, and then, oh, this is in the shade Major, my favorite one. That went first, then I went in with a Clé de Peau blush. Okay, yeah, it gives almost like that glass skin effect. I'm just looking at it in the lights. It's so pretty. I've been loving both of the Chanel bronzers that I have, especially for more dry skin. I used just the deeper shade today because I used a powder bronzer as well, so I used this one, but I'll show you swatches of both. I know I show swatches all the time, but I know sometimes this is the first time people are visiting, so I know it helps, and I don't think it hurts to see the swatches again. Still love the Sisley bronzer. I've been pulling for this one a lot in the first few months of the year, this Sisley bronzer. And this is one of those things that a lot of people love. And the people who love this have different skin tones, different skin types, and this is a winner amongst a lot of the people who feature luxury beauty on their channels. Yeah, this lives up to the hype, the Sisley bronzer. My new favorite bronzer is this Guerlain Terracotta Light in the shade 01 Light Warm. And this is the one with all of the confusing coding from site to site. It says it's something different, but I think if you go with 01, you should be okay. Whether it's named Light Warm, or I think it was Cool Medium or something, which totally didn't make sense on the site. But when I got it 01, it's still the 01 coding, and it looks just like this in the picture. So I suspect something got mixed up along the way. So if you go with 01, and even if it says Light Warm on the back, you'll be okay if this is the one that you like. If you saw it in action, you liked it. I did use this as a bronzer just on the exterior of my face. You could see, I think I did this in another video recently too, but I did it again today. But I do use this with the Clé de Peau Brightening Veil. I put that on first, and then I apply this. I start on the exterior, and then I'll kind of work it towards the center of my face. Yeah, it's just the loveliest glow. You can see right here. Really pretty. Loving that one. I love the Victoria Beckham eyeliners. I carved out this shape first with the navy one. I think that's my favorite one, but I also love ash. I love bronze. I still need to try the olive one, which is like a green shade. One of the things I found with these Victoria Beckham liners is if I tightline with it, sometimes it can transfer onto the bottom. So I will line the entire eye when I use this particular eyeliner. And you can manipulate this so you can get it where you want it. You can smudge it out. It doesn't set quickly. Great for beginners. I think, again, if you're gonna do one, the navy one is just so pretty. And navy eyeliners tend to be more difficult to locate. I don't know why, but navy is a little bit trickier to find, so I can see why that one I can see why that one sells out quite a bit on the site, but it's available on other sites as well. So I actually started with navy today. I love the CHANTECAILLE eyeliners, the Eye Kajal in black, which is one of the newer ones they have. It's the deepest shade. It's so pretty. It works with so many different shadows. Seems like it would be too intense, but it for some reason is not, but I love that one all over the eye. I love to tightline with that in the waterline as well. Such a pretty one. And then I've got a myriad of shades that I pull for. I pull for Violet Damask, Amethyst, Earth. The other one I pull for is Jasper. That's a really beautiful one. I love Black Forest. I feel like you can't go wrong with the shades. They perform consistently. And I think it's just a matter of finding when they're available where, because they tend to be out of stock in lots of different places, but sometimes it'll be in stock one place but not somewhere else. So you just kind of have to look, and I will leave links below where I can find them. And then Chanel eyeliners are my other favorites. Now Chanel has changed their lineup with liners. So one that I do go for quite a bit is Brun Agape. That is a consistent one that is not limited edition, but some of the other ones that I love by Chanel are limited edition, which is why I don't use them as much, although I love them. But Brun Agape is one that I've used almost all the way till the end. Then for lip products, this one's been a great one when I'm not sure what to pair with a look. Because it's very close to my skin tone, it just enhances it. Really easy to use. You can build this one up. This is the Chanel, the number 1 to Chanel in Lively Rosewood. I've made a divot there, but I use this in the try-on so you can see what it looks like, and then I build it up. But then I went in with something more intense. I went in with a new Chanel lip product. This one is in 832. I love this one. It's just the most beautiful shade. I love the finish of it. It has a satiny yet glowy appearance to it, which I think is really beautiful. Pigmentation is wonderful on this. Really comfortable to wear. Really like these. But I think this is my favorite shade, even though I've pulled for a couple. This one is always so stunning. I've also been loving this one by Sisley. It's in Rouge Capri. It's just a really stunning shade that goes with so many things, and it's very classic at the same time. And I love their formula. It's a really great lipstick formula. Then for powders, I love to set with this one. It's a Rodial Glass Powder. Again, now more widely available than it has been. There was a while you couldn't get your hands on it, but now it seems to be more available. I went ahead and set with that one, but then also went in with the, of course, Perfect Blur Powder by Chantecaille. I'm still on this one. I have a new one ready to go. It's in medium light. I love to put this in the center of my face. I love to put this one before blush just to even things out just a little bit more. Then on top of blush as well, especially when it gets a little bit out of control when I add too much, because I get really excited when I add blush. So I will add that in the center of my face just to buff that out if necessary, and I did that today. Wow, it's extra glowy in the front here. That's so interesting because I do have this Even Up product right in this area, which is not glowy at all. It's actually quite mattifying. So yeah, you can see why I love that blush so much. A newer to me powder is this one by Terry. I love that it has different tones in it because I have different tones on my face. So I love this one. It's got some peachiness to it in the center of my face. I'll kind of highlight bone structure with these lighter shades. And then this is great for my forehead because my forehead's typically deeper than the rest of my face. And I know so many of you love this. This is in the shade number 1. Typical brow routine. Gucci brow pencil in, I don't even know anymore what shade I have this in. I talk about it all the time. Shade 4. And then I've got the Rowan eyebrow pencil, which is here somewhere, I don't know. And Your Show Pump and Brow, always, as my eyebrow gel. And then I have 3 fragrances for you. So I think this is like an all-time favorite fragrance, but it's the Baccarat Rouge 540 that I recently talked about. Then for something more green, we have Vetiver by Chantecaille. It's such a pretty green, clean scent. Love this one. Something with a little twist, Basilico and Fellini is the one I've been loving. It has that hint of basil, which makes it so different than so many other fragrances that I've tried out there. Love this one as well. Mascara, I almost forgot. As you know, I love Faux Cils Longest Lash Mascara by Chantecaille. This is my holy grail, love it. But if this is out of your range, because I know it's more than your typical mascara, there are a couple I would recommend. So if you want something similar, I actually did a side-by-side just to see how similar they were. There is the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara, which I applied today. And another one I would recommend is the Rodial XXL. I cannot find it, or else I would use it because I really liked it. That gives you a lot of lashes really quickly and wears very well. If you like mascara the way I wear it, those are the ones that I like as well. So again, By Terry, their mascara listed below, of course, as well as the Rodial XXL mascara. Very nice. If you'd like to see how I got this look together, make sure to tune into the Get Ready With Me. I filmed all of this in action so you could see as much as I could possibly show you on one face. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other. Stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.